all layers of planes regarding to you separated.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of that, you are not connected with your higher self. And by the way, there's a lot of knowledge about the multidimensional science, multidimensional spiritual being. It's regarding when you said the higher dimension, okay?
Yeah.
The higher perspective from the higher self. Which higher self?
Yeah, exactly. That was my question now. Yeah.
Yes.
What's the meaning of higher self?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then we will talk about the higher self.
Yeah.
Okay? Just
which higher
one
self?
higher self.
Exactly.
You have a lot of higher self, my dear. Not just one higher self. Why? The higher self is the self higher from that self you are living now. It's mean you have a higher self in the astral. That higher self, you wanted to meet with her after the liberation of the planet Earth. That the higher self of the astral for you. It's mean we are here as a self and we have another self in the astral.
And even in the ethereal realm.
Yes, but the ethereal is like an energetic system. It's connected between that higher self from the astral and the self from the physical reality.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, it's like link.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the real higher self for you in the 9th dimension.
Okay. Yeah.
Beyond the mental body, not beyond the brain. Well, beyond the brain, the astral level for you.
Exactly.
Beyond the mental body, the 4th level of your inner body.
Excellent. Yeah.
Mental plane, you have a wisdom plane. In the 9th dimension, you have the real higher self from you. Because of that, we always said you are live within dreams.
Oh, this is the meaning of dreams within dreams. Okay.
You are living in the dream of the 3rd dimension and you wanted to open the books to go in the 5th dimension to meet your astral self, the higher self of you. And after that, you wanted to go from that even a dream, and that dreaming not like this dream, it's more bigger, but it's not propaganda, it's reality, but a dream regarding the consciousness. It means you need to expand in your consciousness.
Yeah, and it's regarding, I think, to the self.
Yes.
Still we are collecting ourselves.
Yes, because until mental, under mental, it's self.
Exactly.
And above mental plane, it's higher
self. Exactly.
But in the astral realm, what's happening there, it's not propaganda, but it's not full consciousness for you. It's mean you will go beyond the box of your consciousness. But here, you wanted to go beyond the box of propaganda and lying.
Exactly.
You are live with a real physical box. You didn't see anything. You are out of the game.
It is, yes.
In the 5th dimension, you will enter the game.
Exactly, yeah.
In the 9th dimension, you have a big role in that game. In the 12th dimension, you release your inner journey from your inner beings to be a one unit, complete one unit as a soul. Not separated. And this is the enlightenment after the inner journey. Yes.
When you reach the 13th, you mean?
Yes.
Above 12 dimension.
13 is the ultimate of the free will of sitting of the presence of your throne of your presence.
Excellent.
Yes.
Okay, this morning you've been living a beautiful moment.
Okay.
And you told me that you've been connected.
By the way, that beautiful moment because of your energy.
Oh, thank you.
I like that vortex happen between you and me. When I feel that balancing between feminine and masculine energy, and we can create that vortex. Lots of things that's happening on the planet Earth. I wish of the human being they try to realize and balancing that feminine and masculine energy and building that vortex to can connect with their soul parents for light being, to see things from their perspective. It's very fantastic things.
Oh, great. Okay, you've been connected, I think, with goddess Isis and Osiris. Are they here now?
It's a beautiful morning, yes. During that moment, during that vortex, we are connecting with them, with Isis and Osiris. And I met with them in 2011. And this is one of part of our mission before we go to the Egyptian to activate the beginning of the energy of the portal of the Isis in the pyramids there. And we know from that time there is 3 stages for that portal to be complete open, and the resistance movement, of course, and the light forces, they are complete, the 2 parts from them, they are working in the 3rd part, and that 3rd part actually it will happen after the event, not before the event.
Yeah, exactly. I
Because
hear
of
that.
the difficulty from that perspective of the human being now, we need lots of working to activate the 3rd part. That 3rd part, I think it will go beyond the event, after the event. And many of people, they didn't know about the Isis and Osiris, because that names, it's related to the names of the goddess in the Egyptian, old
Egyptian, yes, yeah.
old Egyptian,
Ancient Egyptian, yeah.
And Osiris, who is Ishtar command, command, one of the big commander of the Galactic Federation of Light.
Yeah.
And with the his feminine energy of Isis, Isis in the Egyptian, Aphrodite in the Greek mythology, and they play many of role in the planet Earth. And in that time, in the Egyptian, before around, let's say 24th century before Jesus, they play that role in the Egyptian. They play the role of Isis and Osiris to deal with their kingdom of the planet Earth and spread the feminine divine vortex energy, feminine goddess. And Isis in that time connected with her, let's say, mom, between bracket, the mother of goddess. And the Isis, it's her daughter, and one of the biggest goddess. It's the source of love for goddess. It's the power of love, Isis, and they are building lots of point of vortex of that goddess energy for the planet Earth. One of the big that the portal of the Isis of the pyramids in the Egyptian,
Great Pyramid.
in the Great Pyramids in the Egypt. And yes, the Isis, it's the god of love, let's say, the goddess of love.
And who's the god of life? The goddess of life, sorry.
The goddess of life, it's the Nefertiti.
Nefertiti, okay.
The Nefertiti, it's the twin flame, the feminine energy of the Akhenaton. And the Akhenaton, it's one of the biggest warrior there as a light being. And they play that role in the Egyptian, and they live the biggest story of love, Akhenaton and Nefertiti. And of course that names, it's relating to names in the Egyptian mythology, and they visit even the Greek, and they play lots of role. By the way, lots of things about the mythology from the Indian and the Greek and the Egyptian.
It's connected with each other, yeah?
Yes, it's right, but they manipulate in that story many of times, and now it's become samples.
Yeah.
And the people, when they read that history, they cannot catch the real meaning from that symbol. After the event, they will know the full story about these god and goddesses came to the planet Earth. And that energy related to the goddess, it's beautiful energy. It's the higher more than human kingdom. It's the godhood kingdom, beyond the human kingdom. And it's the beautiful energy, and we need that energy now for the planet Earth to balance the masculine and the feminine energy, to activate fulfillment, the network of the humans for the planet Earth, and to affect the quarantine and the veil for the planet Earth. Yes.
Oh, that's great. Are there any of them here now with us? Can we connect with them now?
With this moment, yes, Isis, it's here, and this is the first time I'm talk about this. Online in front of the camera because of you. Okay. Always here. I mean, we are dealing with lots of goddess and light beings. And when you reach the level of the mastery of the alchemy of the mastery, after the God consciousness of the level of the school of the Shambhala of the inner realms, you can have clear connection with that goddess, and they are beautiful goddess, and we need them, all of us.
Of course, yeah. Does she like to say something? We would love to hear from her.
Maybe.
Okay.
I will ask her, but...
we will wait for her, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
She answered regarding your questions because there's an ocean of knowledge beyond that third dimension. If we have a specific question, she can answer that.
Is she working now on Earth, or she's waiting until the event to let's say activate their energy as goddess together?
Yes. Her present, as a present, not in the earth. She are working beyond the earth, from out of the earth. But her energy reached the earth through the portal of the Isis and reached the 14 point on the planet Earth, one of the biggest points of the portal of the pyramids of the Egyptian. And she reached the 14th part. And that
14.
Yes, she talked about the 14th part of the pieces of the puzzles of her husband, of the mythology, of the Egyptian mythology about her husband Osiris. When the Set killed him, the mythology said, and they put him in the 14th part. And that part is the symbolic about the point of the portals of the goddess energy of the Isis. When she merged all of them, they will return Osiris alive. The meaning of that for her, one of her sampling talk about it. Okay, but let me... she talked about that 14 part, when merge all that portal from the goddess, will strengthen the power of the goddess vortex in the planet Earth, and it will let the commander star to be present in the planet Earth in the first contact. And this is the meaning of the rebirthing from the death of the gods of the Ishtar in that time as Osiris. And that's it's a prophecy. It's not happened in the Egyptian in that time, but that prophecy for the goddess in that time, in the end of time, will return as Ishtar, as a commander on the planet Earth, when his twin flame feminine energy merge all his energy of the portal of the 14th points of the portal of the goddess with her collective goddess around her, to merge that life, to let the Osiris to return to the planet Earth, to his throne. And this is the meaning of the sign of the first contact.
Oh, that's really great.
From the Osiris directly. Yes, and she honored to be a representative of the many of the portals for the other goddess with her. She is, like I said,
representative of the goddess. She representing energy. Them, yeah.
Yes, and she has a source from the goddess energy. Let's say mother of goddess energy. Let's say her mom. They didn't use that word, but for the people to understand that.
As source.
Yeah, yes, source of the mother of the goddess energy. It supports her. And that story related to lots of things. It's happening in the Siran, Cyrus, between her and between the Osiris, Ashtar command. And she played many of role even in the Greek mythology, like Aphrodite.
Oh, she is Aphrodite.
Aphrodite is the source of love there. And she had even a sister, goddess related to familiar closer to her, it's freedom. And her sister is freedom. And this is the biggest two feminine energy need for the planet Earth to liberate the Earth, freedom and love.
What's the name of her sister?
It's difficult to name her name now.
Okay.
But his role a queen of Nefertiti in the Egyptian.